All right, let's check the audio real quick. Make sure it's good. Um, are we coming through clearly? Yes, we are. Hey, how's it going, Sappho? All right, I think the audio's good. Cool. Oh, we've made some good progress so far. I feel like when I first started doing these traditional streams, I would show everyone who's kind of passing through kind of the work we had done previously. So I'll show some of that off a bit. So here's like page one, essentially. See if I can zoom out a bit. Not zooming in. So here's like what page one is looking like. We did this on stream like I think 2 days ago now. Kind of worked on it and made sure it looked nice. And the sound effects are probably going to be done digitally, but I really like how it turned out. I was able to put a lot of special attention on these smaller drawings here, and I wanted to print it out on bigger paper as far as like print it out on the underdrawing, right? Because print out the underdrawing that I did on the thing. But yeah, and then I was able to kind of like work on these smaller drawings and like make them essentially have more detail, but also have them enough space, whereas though I wouldn't smear them. What size paper do you usually work on? I usually work on copy paper size paper. That usually is just fine for me, but just I was like, okay, if I'm gonna put these many characters in these panels, I gotta be smart about it. If I had it if I had it on a smaller size paper, like let's say like this small, right? If I had it on this size paper, then these characters would be extra tiny. I would have to really zoom in just to be able to get that, that detail I wanted. And it'd be very hard. And then what if I smear it? If I smear one thing, I'm smearing like 3 to 4 things, right? And then I have a really big cleanup job to do. So instead, I just like, okay, I'll print this out on 11 by 17, you know. And as long as it's scaled right, I can always shrink it down on the computer and just make it go exactly where I want to on the frame layouts. Yeah, got to do this page as well. Really like the detail I was able to get with like the kick going on. It's not completely done yet, but I'm thinking I could actually do, excuse me, I'm thinking I can actually do the sound effect that's supposed to be here on the actual page. I think that's when it'll basically be done. But obviously I'm gonna look over everything and make sure it's good. Um and now I'm working on this page here. Now I'm just realizing this page is bigger than this page. I'm like, wait a minute. It's supposed to be 11 by 17, but I guess it's a little bit shorter, but it's very close. Maybe it's 11 by 14. Either way, still cool. Still the same size-ish. Still the same size-ish. Yeah. I had some paper lying around that I knew was good quality and I wanted to use it. But yeah. So we got the butterfly on his arm. Let's get started. Grab some of the pencils we're going to be using. And I'm kind of moving over to just using this. This kneaded eraser is just way better to use for like pencil work. Just because of the fact that when you erase with a kneaded eraser, it's 2 reasons. It lifts the mark off the page without digging into it and stuff. And then 2, because it doesn't leave any shavings. If there's no shavings, there's no reason for you to brush your paper off, which means you don't create smears, when you're not trying to. Some good stuff. So I'm using probably a regular pencil and then a smaller mechanical pencil. I'm pretty warm today, actually. Sounds cool. Alright, So let's get started. We have a little bit of work to do today. I think we're going to be able to finish this page in particular. Right now I'm just going to go through and beef up these outlines for his hand, which is overlapping most of everything on this panel. It's like the most forward coming object. Hmm. Trying to look at the overall shape of the butterfly and be like, did I actually um, get the silhouette correctly? Might be a little bit smaller. I feel like it's generally the same shape. I don't need to stress about it too much. What I'm trying to do is not do the zigzag pattern thing, because in a way, with a zigzag pattern, you end up going over an area more than once. And when you do that with pencil, you end up getting like this shiny texture on your paper. Um, so instead, what I'm trying to do is just hit the area one time with one line if I can, and leave it alone. That way, like the problems I used to encounter was like when I would scan my work, if I'd gone over it too many times, like visually from my eyes, it's like, oh, this looks really dark. When you scan it, it looks like a lighter gray than some of your lighter marks. And then you're like, wait, I thought this should read darker. But because of that shiny texture that happens with graphite, it's because you've gone over an area so much that you've made it smooth. And the smoother an object surface is, the easier it is to reflect light. So when you scan it, as the scanner is going across with a light bar, it's basically just reflecting all that light. So when it's completely done scanning, it'll basically look like a lighter area instead of a darker area. So instead, I'm basically doing like a hatching pattern. instead of just filling the area completely. Where's the eraser? Huh. Let's go ahead and grab this paper again. Going to try and make sure that I know exactly what the butterfly looks like. Though I've drawn it a few times now, you know. Oh yeah, I don't know if Sappho is still here, but just grab one of the actual pages out of the stack. Essentially, this is the size paper I usually work on. If it's like usual story moments, you know, that doesn't require a lot of detail and a lot of extra objects and things of that nature, there's no point in wasting a lot of paper on it. I can just do it this small, do it this tight and neat, and you know, it works very well. It's on like a thicker type of copy paper, essentially, I'm using here, and I use it the same. But yeah, I knew I wanted to have certain bigger moments, so I wanted to make sure I use bigger paper. Yeah. Just put this off to the side. Actually, I can put it right in front of me. Cool. Alright, so you see that the pattern. Oh yeah, where's my extra paper? There we go. So we're going to try and copy the pattern that's on the wings here. And I'm going to do this. Alright, it's looking pretty cool. If anyone can see that or not, let me see. Alright, so we got the detail there. It's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and... So what I didn't do is like learn the anatomy completely. I have notes somewhere, but I'll check that, you know, off screen type thing, off camera type thing. But I know they have like, you know, little legs and stuff like that. They're supposed to be working a certain way. And I don't want to get that wrong or guess on it. So I'm just gonna do it the right way, but off camera. Okay. Alright. Now I usually use that other pencil, but I'm just gonna use a regular one here and try to hit this word bubble. There we go. I got it. Neither watching and just clicked by curiosity, but is this a drawing session? Mere imagination. A drawing session from my imagination. I'm working on a comic. Um, these are my original characters. No, this is not a session from my imagination. I don't know how I would clarify that, but yeah, these are my characters from my comic that I'm working on. That I'll eventually post on webtoons, but it's not posted there yet. But thanks for clicking the video and checking it out. Is that the sound of my wrist cracking? Okay. Let's get some of these other lines in here. I don't like that line, but it's okay. All right. Oh, yeah, yeah. No problem at all. Yep. These are all my characters. It's my story. Okay, so that works just fine. We can go ahead and jump over to the next panel very soon. I was about to say, let's go to the next panel, but like, let me go ahead and add some more stuff. All right. Close some of those shapes on the hair and everything. And I'll also fix the butterfly's face later. Again, I want to be accurate to some degree, so I got the shading and everything for the general shape of the butterfly and everything, but not everything is complete. I got the wings in there, and their pattern and whatnot as well. Cool. Alright, can go over here now. Where is that other pencil? I don't know why I just brushed off that, like there was something there. Okay. So I don't know if I want to keep this chibi look, but I think it's fun. It could work. Hey, how's it going, Savon? You know what else would be cool though? Let's erase that and change the shape. Hmm. Just chilling and whatnot. That's cool. I was a little overzealous with that line. Alright, looks decent. I see I extended it here. Okay. And this would flail out like that, right? We don't need a line there. Line can go here. Now, since this is flailing out, this line has to be changed here. That makes more sense, right? Yeah. That's better. Does this sound like absolute mayhem outside? Alright, cool. There's most of that there. You're gonna have a shadow here. The underside of the hand. Looks cool to me. Let's see here, what else? We got this circular part of the belt buckle. Well, not the belt buckle, but I think that's on the belt buckle. Or I'll explain it better later. Alright. Cool. Now I'm going to start adding in more detail into the forms. Now that I've got most of the work done. So, I can go ahead and put some of the work into the areas that are going to be dark. And then I'll come back around and also add in things like line weights. The ones that I didn't enter yet, or put on there yet, that's what I mean. It's obvious. Why does it say it like that? It works there. I think it's great when I actually can find a mistake before I have to scan the pages. Like, I'm usually happy when I can find it first. I'm like, oh man, like, I'm glad I didn't have to scan that, you know? Find the tangent, hurry up and erase it, you know? It's a great feeling. Alright. And now we're down here to the legs. So now I'm going to do the same method I did yesterday where I use like a Sharpie. I go ahead and go over a certain part of the knee and the leg. There we go. No. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in this space with like the Sharpie. And then I'll be able to kind of go back over it a bit and add the line weights. And then after the line weights, I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the forms in the background. Since this panel is a little off to the right, I'm going to go ahead and pull back the camera a little bit. I wonder if it's better if I push this up a little bit. Now, the interesting thing is I know I'm going to lose a lot of this form here, you know, but I kind of plan for it at this point where I'm kind of just okay with losing it. It's fine. That's kind of one of my little visual things that I'm okay with. And there are certain visual mediums where that's a thing. It actually works that way. So the areas where I'm not feeling as confident are the areas I'm going to use a pen on. And basically, Sharpie is great for filling in these big areas. But when it comes to like actual like I would say the tip of it as far as quality goes, you know, the more you use the Sharpie, the less effective or sharp the tip is when it comes to detailing. So those are the things that I'm just not going to do with it. So what I really mean is I'm not going to touch the edge of this leg going around things. How's it going, Nick? Cool. That's looking decent. Yeah, I don't know if my butt came through. My butt, yeah. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me. Would love to help anyone out if I could, working on their own projects. Or just anyone who has questions in general, honestly. That looks pretty cool. Some detail on the butterfly there. Hurry up and go back and do these line weights, right? For me, line weights is a question of always, what's overlapping what. So, Halo isn't going to have these super open lines completely all the time here because he's overlapping the stuff in the background. So even if I do leave some of these lines open a bit, I gotta give him a certain amount of character, a certain amount of line weight to him. So that's fine. Right there. Need to hit up the overall outline in general. I feel like this doesn't need to be here. This hopefully makes the overall silhouette better to see. Good one, Los. Good, very good one, sir. Thanks, though. Yeah, I'm doing a thing where I'm just making sure the general silhouette is easy to see here. That's why you can see, or hopefully notice where each limb is, you know. Hopefully you can tell, okay, I might see a leg here. That could be the leg. The other one, there's an arm there. There's another arm there. So if I were to fill this whole space with black, hopefully you'd be able to tell where each limb is, you know. I'm trying to think about stuff like that with most of the drawings I do, where I do get a chance to have the limbs get away from the center of the body. Oh, yeah, they do this a lot in like fighting games actually. Most of the fighting game characters' silhouettes, or well, the position they're usually drawn in is like 3/4. So it's like they have that slight turn that they usually keep throughout the fight or throughout the match. And they try to do really strong silhouettes consistently. Now, even though I want a decent outline here, what I do want to do is not end up with a flat image because I'm adding an outline. So I'm kind of picking and choosing uh, just how much of an outline I'm going to give things. So if I were to do it with the same exact shape overall, you'd end up with a very flat looking image. And that's just not what I'd like to see. You know, for my drawings, you know. My drawings have a certain amount of life to it. Went a little simplistic here with the hand, so I was trying to fix a problem I had saw where in my underdrawing I'd extended the arm a little bit too much, so now I'm going to try and fix that. Alright, and let me go ahead and do this line here. Makes me curious. Yeah. Cool. I guess technically, since this is up like this, I put a shadow underneath. And erase out these areas here. Alright, that's pretty good there. And now we can start adding in the shapes for the backgrounds. Oh wait. Alright, now I can start adding in the shapes of the background. And it's gonna be mountain shapes, right? Usually I don't plan like natural backgrounds all the time. Definitely like mountain forms. But what I end up doing is I'll reference myself when I do think that I'm doing it correctly. So since I've done this setting before in the previous chapter, I'm just grab one of those pages and literally just look at what I've done for that and try to reference those shapes. So here's the cover of that previous chapter. And yeah, I did this on stream with you guys as well. And I like these shapes and patterns that I came up with to demonstrate this technique or whatever for these mountains. And I made sure to also give it some line weights so that we know, the shapes are kind of in the foreground, middle ground, and background as they kind of go towards the back there. So just put this joint in front of me so I can reference it and kind of use it. I mean, technically, I could also just reference the page, the first page, right? On there as well. Yes, it's right there in the background. Okay. The first thing I'm actually blocking some of the chat a little bit. But the first thing I always do is go, okay, what type of shape language am I using here? Am I using super round shapes, triangular shapes, rectangular shapes, And I know that for my mountain forms, I'm mainly using rectangular shapes with a bit of triangles here and there on it. But it's mostly straight forms, right? So stuff like this has like these slopes to it and everything. It's little parts that kind of lift and kind of edge into it a little bit. I don't know what word I just said. What word did I just say? Basically mean cutting in, right? It's kind of like, if you were to imagine this form, how would you describe it, right? And you use the lines that kind of complement the shape, the overall shape, while also describing the form well. So using these smaller lines here because it's not really like, it has a lot of planar forms and shapes to it where things kind of go inward and then come outward. So I'm like, okay, we know steps do this type of thing and then go down. I'm describing the edge with some of these other lines. let's see. That's basically what I'll end up doing. This one here has too much detail for it to be that far in the background. So what I'm going to have to do is end up beefing up this guy's outline or giving it less detail. Alright, cool. So now we're going to beef up a little bit of these line weights a bit. Now you particularly don't have to do this. You can make your stuff work based off of just values, honestly. I think your name is Perel. Hey, how's it going? But yeah, you don't have to beef up line work and stuff like that just to like I'm doing it. I'm doing it specifically because I want my images to read well even without the values on them. And I think that adding tone or grayscale to my image should essentially be like putting, sprinkles on like a cupcake or something, Like it should just accentuate what I'm doing. It shouldn't like make it work. I'm trying to make my images make work line work wise so that if you saw it, even at this stage, you'll get it. You'll understand what's happening. Okay, now we can get down to some of these last panels. What are we about? Okay, we're about an hour and 20 in. I'm feeling confident. I know I can do it. Let's do it. Okay, so what we're gonna start with is what we're gonna start with is kind of the shapes for the background. But first, we're gonna start with these word bubbles since they're the highest thing up and also to the left. Might as well do all of them at one go in one go. Writing my paper. Okay, and what I want to also do is like not make this so completely round. I don't know how to explain that. Basically, when you make these ovals, it's almost better to start off with rectangles inside of them so that you can kind of make sure that they're consistently straight, like vertical when you like where you want them to be and horizontal where you want them to be. So, yeah. Yeah, that works better. And the other ones I don't need to turn the paper for. As you can see, I just extended this word bubble. It's kind of better to just have them, well, it's not better. I like it when they kind of touch the walls of the panels. I think it just kind of fills the space better. And as long as I do my job of kind of explaining what's behind there, like what's in the background and stuff like that, your brain can kind of, fill in the gaps and stuff like that. But yeah, there'll just be text there and it'll extend there. You won't have to be looking around a word bubble like, oh, what's behind that word bubble? And then there's a freaking wall. So it's like, why would I leave that little tiny area for your eye to have to go through a crevice? You know, that could take you out of reading the comic. And I want to make sure that I don't take you out of reading the comic. I want you to finish it. So I want to make sure there's there's enough incentive. There's not a lot of friction to stop you from doing that thing. All right, so let's go ahead and place some of these in here. I like the way that's looking. Okay. What other pattern can we come up with? My favorite thing about like struggling on this type of thing is actually the fact that like sometimes it's not even the pattern. It's kind of more like or the texture. It's more like the more you put there with line work, you're kind of telling the reader just how important that thing is to some degree. So the less lines you put there and like you're thoughtfully thinking about it, the better it'll be, right? This is an object that's not even in the center of the screen, of the panel, and it's off to the side, and it's behind something. It also is not any different from any of the other patterns or shapes that I'm using for these mountains in the background, which should show you or tell you, definitely as the the artist, that what you should be trying to do is kind of make it fit in with everything, not stick out. Which means that I don't need to add a bunch of detail here. I actually more so need to find a way to just put enough there for it to just be there, and you know that it's there, but your eye doesn't stay on it too long because it's not that interesting. All right, now I'm going to start working in the other parts of the details there. So we got this little drawing here, which I'm gonna have to definitely tweak or change a little bit. I've been getting better and better with smaller drawings recently though. You guys can ask Tavon all about it if he's still here. Hmm. And I'm trying to not do circles that are like important or whatever, like by hand anymore. Why not have these tools lying around? The heck is this? It's probably paint. Yeah. Alright, so we got like this tool here. It's like a little circle template tool. I remember when I was younger, and I was just like, man, I just feel so broke when I look at template tools. Maybe I'll never need to use them anyway, you know? Because who wants to pay $10 for something where you just trace a shape, you know? And here I am using it because it just looks better than doing it by hand. Well, this is actually pretty cool. I don't need to draw it in there, but I am going to. Right, gonna just Alright. I don't know if you guys can see that at all, but I just drew this really, really tiny little Samara little emblem indicator thingy. It's very tiny. How tiny is it? I don't have I don't know, I don't have a good indicator of exactly how small it is, but yeah. Here's like top part of that eraser part on like one of those big, pencils. That's how small it is. And he's even smaller. Yeah. Fun stuff. It's not perfect, but you gotta see it. You gotta see it. Alright. Next one is my well, nope. I don't have to, but I'm gonna actually end up drawing in some of this part of this background here. Let me actually pull back a little bit more. Oh, there we go. That way you guys can see a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab a pencil and do this work a certain way. Okay, that should work just fine. Devon said he's still alive. I'm glad you're still alive, bro. On, how's it going, Jerry? I'm breathing. That's for sure. Okay. I hope you're doing better than that, though. But even if you're not, I'm glad you're hopefully mentally doing okay. But I know exactly that feeling, though, so can't blame you. Alright, cool. Now this guy has, like, you know, the thickest outlines right here on this page, or in this panel. I keep doing that. So he instantly sticks out. And what I'll also end up doing is, I don't know, this doesn't, I don't have that much of like a big space here. So I don't need to go crazy with anything. So I guess I can just use pencil. But marker has been very fun. Too bad I don't have a smaller Sharpie to use. Because that would be the move. Oh, wait, did I just find a smaller Sharpie to use? Alright, we did. Alright, seems like I have about 15 minutes before the 2-hour mark. Alright, so we got that in there. I'm going to start in the reverse order from the left again and make our way all the way over here. Most of this is just his clothing and the background stuff. So I'm gonna just start off with this exclamation point here. Okay. Yeah, using pencil is just a really good idea for me anyway. Really works well. Alright, that looks pretty cool. Alright, we can do the next one. Stretch a bit. Hmm. Alright, as usual, don't know if firework or gunshot. Alright, definitely firework. I don't know why I feel like this picture is a little harder. I like the, maybe the hair is a bit different. But it's not. It's actually the same amount of difficulty. Holy crap, look at this guy's hands. What kind of music do you listen to? Hip hop, uh, pop music, I guess. Video game music. Um, Classical music sometimes. Some rock music. Jesus, look at this guy's hands. No. Funniest thing about drawing small, it's like sometimes the proportions or your shorthand for how to make something simply read is not good. Small. The reason it works well big is because you can usually take it and change it and make it more detailed. And then you figure out, oh, I can make this better or that better. And then you erase your shorthand version of it and create a more detailed form of it. Um, but when it's small, you realize, like, oh, here's my shorthand for the hand. And you're like, wait, it's not working. It's like, why? It's because it's actually hard to do small drawings. It might be harder to do small drawings. To some degree. Depends on what you want out of them though. Okay, so we've got this going on. We're just gonna cheat that a little bit. Have his arm in motion. So you're not going to say Attack on Titan on repeat, huh? Come on, man. Yes, 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 yes. I listened to Hiroyuki Sawano's music of Attack on Titan on repeat. Yes, yes. There's not many people's music on anime soundtracks that I think I listen to on repeat, but uh Yoko him and Yoko Kanno's music on on Cowboy Bebop and yeah, Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell. I listen to those all the time. They're great. That's why I was always saying if I ever got an anime for any of my projects, definitely for the Divinity, I wouldn't get an anime. I would just use my whole budget on soundtrack. Um, that's how much my brain imagines, getting some of my favorite composers to create music for my anime would be. Like, oh well, like if I gotta break the bank just to get, all these guys to pitch in, then I'm going to break the bank. We might not get an anime. We might get a an album though. That'd be awesome. Like, yo, couldn't get the anime. That's okay. Uh, but yo, listen to these tracks. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Listen to these tracks. While you read the comic. That'd be awesome. Friends just jump in here and tell on me. It's just what they do. It's okay though. Recently, I've been listening to the track that Casey Edwards produced with Victor Borba. Um, Bury the Light is what it's called. It's a Devil May Cry uh, Virgil theme song, I believe. It's been great. Just listening to that on repeat. It took a while for me to think that it was actually really good, but then after listening to it like alone and stuff like that, I was like, wait, there's so many good parts of this. And it also has this older feel to it, where like how older songs they used to have like these really long these intros and outros and things of that nature. It has that too, and it's just really well produced. It has a lot of great vocals in it. The person who wrote it, Casey Edwards, definitely is a fan of the Devil May Cry series and of Virgil, so he did a great job kind of figuring out what the dialogue and everything, not dialogue, the lyrics are gonna be for each part. And yeah, the vocals sound great. Yeah, I definitely hire him too if I could. But again, that'd be the budget, I assume. I mean, the funny part is like I'm like, yo, like wouldn't that be too many people, to try and hire? But then my brain's like, but what if you could still get them? Still get them? Like, who cares if it's too many people? Like, still be really cool, right? I'm actually supposed to have this in front, right? Oh yeah, and the near soundtrack is great, and it seems to have been great from the beginning. And I never really got into the game, but I've spoiled myself on things that happen in the game. So yeah, I know it's a good game, it seems. But yeah, the music in Near is, I guess, fantastic. It's really good. Hey, how's it going, Crocodile? It's hot, bro. Why is it hot? Man, I am okay with that. Though for some reason it feels like I have the sniffles. It's weird. Um, but I'm okay with it being hot, man. It's been it's been cold enough. You're not happy about that? Alright, Jerry. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming through and hanging out, man. Now my house gets ultra hot. I mean, your last place got ultra hot. I remember. I was like, man, like, what's up with the heater in this place? And you were just like, that's just how it is. And I was just like, okay. I don't like the way this arm looks here. It's a little off. Yet it shouldn't be, right? Well, not right, but you know, I wanted to cry so bad. I'm sorry you feel that way, man, or you felt that way. I guess you're a guy who definitely enjoys more uh colder weather, I guess. Easy to get warm from the cold. I mean, yeah, I guess you cover up and just, you know, uh allow yourself to get warm that way. Getting cool from the heat is a mess. Hey man, you could always just get in like a really cold shower, you know? Yeah, you could do that. And go ahead and hit up some of these outlines a bit to make sure that, well, technically it'll work regardless. I don't know why I just even did that one. Oh yeah. How's the footage looking on you guys' end? I can't really see it because I have to keep things at like 144p, but um hoping it looks good on you guys' end. instantly have to erase this because it looks like he farted. Great. Alright, we're gonna put it up here. Yeah. Alrighty then. Good stuff. Made some good progress. Now we can go ahead and fill in some of these places with what needs to be there. Make sure I don't spread any oils from my hand. And there. Really happy about the stream progress we've been doing. Thanks to a lot of research and a lot of help from friends and family and stuff like that, I've been able to continuously update the stream and make things better for you guys. I remember when I first started, I really didn't have good lighting. I actually started more so on Twitch. But yeah, I didn't have really good lighting or anything, or good understanding of how to maximize my camera's resolution and things of that nature. But yeah, been getting better with each thing. Getting better with how I do things on the computer and stream it to you guys. And also now with using this camera for traditional streams. Being able to finally go up to 1080p. And also got a really nice mic. Thanks to a friend of mine. So now my audio sounds more clear. Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad it helps. I don't know if the mic is picking up the beautiful sound of my pencil going across the page like it used to, but either way, I hope it helps. Yeah, I used to, I think. I think I used to. I think I used to have it pick up, but the mic I'm using is pretty sensitive and I didn't want to pick up the other unnecessary sounds. So we added to that to kind of decrease those other sounds. All right. Hmm. And for most of these other things, it's just going to be some simple shapes, right? So I can go ahead and do a simple shape for a halo. Draw his head, where the shoulders would be. Samara would be, you know, right here. So I'm gonna switch her place here actually to this side, and just do that. And the cool thing is, I can also get away with drawing this really big cast shadow down the hill. Mountain, my bad. Why did I draw that circle so small there? Okay. So, circle, circle, shoulders, cloak, where he came from, and then right down there, right? So we can get away with a few things there. So yeah, from there I'm just gonna go ahead and put the frames on here finally. Is this looking pretty decent? I'm gonna definitely go over it a bit tomorrow, I believe. But yeah, it's looking pretty decent so far. I'm liking it. This paper is really tall, actually. Kinda more so wish that I did have the 11 by 14 paper, but I don't. I have 11 by 17 right now, so that's what I'm gonna be using. Hmm. I was like, where did I put that ruler? Cool. I'm gonna just do all these first since these are the easiest to do. why I did that. Interesting. Alright, so I can only usually do like half of this paper at one time when it comes to this length. So that's what I'm gonna stick to. I feel like that's right. Go ahead and do this one here in the middle. Alright, it's looking neat. So I'm gonna flip it the other way now. Let's see if I can get these other ones here. I'm gonna start with the ones that are closest to me, actually. Alright. Took a little bit. Paper's kind of cumbersome to work with a little bit, but yeah, we got the borders on there. They look pretty neat, so yay for me taking my time and doing a decent job with that, because it's always easy to just rush through things. Alright, where's this ruler gonna go? Alright, cool. But yeah, guess I will put it on this here. Sure. But yeah, I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming out to the stream. It's been awesome hanging with you guys, and thanks so much for leaving comments in the comment section so we can chat. It's probably late where you guys are. I don't exactly know, but it's pretty late where I am. So I'm about to go ahead and get some rest soon. So I want you guys to do the same. Make sure you guys get some rest, and take care of yourselves. What is this? Page 3 of the next chapter, or of the newest chapter. We got a decent amount done. We finally got to the end of this page. I will be definitely going over this and adding a little bit more detail here and there where I see fit. I may do that off camera. I may wait until stream. But yeah. I'm also very excited. There's 5 more days left until I get to finally take my first like art class since college, and really excited about that. Um, so I definitely will be showing you guys some progress, probably maybe after the class or during the class. I don't know, but I think it'll be really cool to just share that stuff with you guys as well, and my progress and whatnot. But yeah, um, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So I'll be back tomorrow with the last stream of the week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, it's gonna be dope. We will be working on the next page over, and I think honestly, we should be able to do 2 pages tomorrow. So that'll be really fun because it doesn't require as much as these first few pages here. Page 1 took a lot of time, and page 2 seemed to also take a lot of time. Um, Page 3 is this page and didn't require as much time as those ones. So, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Oh, and if you're new and you like the content or the videos I'm putting up, please subscribe. I do this every weekday, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace, everyone.